I remember when I was young, I could not talk to girls. I just felt embarrassed. I couldn't talk to girls that I liked. That was the toughest part. I was just afraid. I just had this thing built in my head that they hated me or that they just did not like me. I want everything to be perfect before something happens. That's how I am. I want everything to be, look, as soon as everything gets all lined up, gets all perfect, then this will happen. But that's just a feeling, man. That's not true. The truth is there's probably a lot of people that care about you. And I'm one of them, man. Count me in.
Is forgiveness in us? Because I try to forgive so much, but then oftentimes I dwell on, why they wronged me. And this goes for my brother, my dad, my mom.
And for years I spent time in that place where I would any girl that would take me, I would accept, I would take. Even if she didn't have some of my values or qualities or anything, I just felt so less of myself. And I'm not saying that you feel this way about you, but I felt so less of myself that I just felt like I wasn't worthy of someone who was good for me or who I was good for. I was just hopefully worthy of anyone. And that was not a fun place to be. And you end up with people that you end up with being in a match that's not a real match, because if you want to end up with a woman, and if you're looking for something long term, you're going to want to find a woman that's real. And if you don't always have to agree with girls, if they don't have your vibe, dude, then screw them. On to the next one, And all any of us are is just kids that are just getting older, and just trying our best in the world. And sometimes it takes time. You can't really force it, but I think we can get into practices that help us get closer to forgiveness. And that's where I want to be. Because at a certain point, I'm tired of the grudges. Even if I'm not the one making them, even if they're from a young, I've got to talk to myself or have a relationship enough with my heart that's like, hey, trust me enough to walk us through this. And with my higher power. To say, hey, God, help me walk through this. Help me. I have felt unloved, or I have felt wronged, or I have felt this. Help me try again to give this person a chance to love me. Because if not, I miss out twice.
You said something that resonated with me. You said, nothing changes if nothing changes. I thought about it, and I went home and I applied for a job I'm probably not qualified for, but I was like, I'll take a shot. And the next day I get a call from them, have the interview, it goes well. She says she's going to set me up with in-person interview. Never even had it. They emailed me a few days later, and I got the job. So now I'm going to be doing a job that I think I will appreciate more and enjoy more, and I'll be making double the money that I'm making now.
Gang. Bro, that's awesome, man. That's really great. Congratulations for trying something new. Yeah, it's crazy to sometimes think like, what can happen if we decide, I'm going to see what happens when I decide that I am qualified. As soon as this new medicine I'm using helps me, and as soon as this shirt I ordered come in, and as soon as I learn Spanish, as soon as I learn Spanish really well, like I'm a blue belt or whatever in it. But I always want to wait till everything's perfect. Dustin Poirier noticed that about me. And he said to me point blank, he said, hey man, you can't wait for everything to be perfect to start living your life. You can't wait for everything to be perfect to start living your life. And that hit me. I mean, he packs a powerful punch, and he hit me with a damn word punch, with a word hook. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything you're worried about is gonna be okay. That too, whatever it is, that also is gonna be fine. Try some mushrooms, man. Have a few more mushrooms here and there. Do it in a safe environment. Don't drive while you're doing it, but do it somewhere and have fun. Find people that you care about, that you can listen to, and that will listen to you. Until you say, yeah, I'm gonna take action. Nothing changes if nothing changes, man. And I'm not preaching at you. I'm just, I just want to remind you, because I've spent a lot of time in my life sitting around wanting things to change, and not being able to make them change, and not thinking I could. And I wish somebody had told me that earlier sometimes. That in order for something to change, there needs to be change.
If someone else spoke to me the way that I speak to myself, I'd have to kill that son of a bitch, because, I couldn't tolerate that. I don't know why we're just so mean to ourselves, man. I don't know why I get so addicted to things. I'm even addicted to damn nasal spray. That's about the hardest thing I've had to kick, to be honest with you.
I would say ask her out. No matter who she is, whether she's a job or a new city or a actual person. Whether she's an opportunity or a fear. If you're afraid of heights, ask her out. Hey, heights, what you doing tonight? Even though I recommend doing heights during the daytime when you can see what's going on. But, whatever she is, man, ask her out. Nobody was anything on me, And so I thought maybe if I was hard on myself, or maybe if I was perfect. I used to think, I realized this the other day. I used to think that, I expected myself to be perfect. So then I would never was, because it's impossible. So then, therefore, I'm so hard on myself. Because I thought that I wasn't cared for as a child. And I'm not trying to self-pity. I'm just looking at what was a part of my life. That I wasn't cared for as a child. So therefore, I took it on myself. Oh, if I was better, if I was perfect, then I would be loved. I'm not perfect enough. I'm not good enough. Personally, I couldn't find a comfort level where I could speak to women. And how to get through that, I would find you have to get through it, and you're gonna have to practice. And what I would practice is listening. I'd practice listening, man. I think you could be thinking, because I personally used to think that I had to start the conversation every time. Sometimes you can just listen. Just listen. I mean, a lot of women, all they want is a man to listen to them and to care. And I think if you start with that, with the listening, then you'll eventually find spots where you can interject and offer something to the conversation, But just if you can get in your head that you have value and you have worth, which you do. You do, bruh. You sound like a pretty legit dude, man. I'd probably go party with you, bruh. I'd probably do a couple bumps and put on a wig and let you practice conversation on me, But you don't want to end up with someone who doesn't deserve you just because you're afraid to feel like someone does deserve you. And I didn't know it in my ears and in my brain. I just knew it in my heart. There was nothing, you could cut a million cables, bro, and you couldn't disconnect that fact from me. We are a lot alike, man. And this isn't a self-pity thing. This ain't a pity party. It's the strongest thing to do. To say, I want to have a bigger experience inside of my heart. You know, that's where the joy, that's where the circus is. I want to be a billionaire in my aortas, brother. That's what I want. And I believe, you have to believe, or I have to believe that there is a way. I have to believe that. But man, I tell you that those 12 steps do work.